One of the things I love more than reading is remembering what I read, and I'm very good at forgetting what I read. So that is where this bad boy comes in, and I'm
You know that feeling when you're so passionate about something where it's the only thing on your mind? Or really, it's the only topic you even want to talk about to people? Well, that was me when I recorded my first video ever on this channel, and it was about my Commonplace book. Today, 9 months later, I want to continue that conversation. And the reason is, it's been almost a year, almost a full year since I've really began using my Commonplace book regularly, and I want to provide a little bit of an update on how it's going. Am I still using it? Etc. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Part 1, am I still using it? Absolutely. Having a dedicated space that holds the quotes and passages that have directly impacted me and my mentality has made my reading and learning experience priceless. It's a direct insight to my influence. And admittedly, the nerd inside of me thinks it's plain and simply cool to have my own handmade, curated encyclopedia of wisdom and knowledge, curated specifically for myself and only myself. You gotta admit, that's pretty awesome. Part 2, it's turned into my second brain. Our brains are practically computers, right? Well, my storage tends to get full pretty fast. My Commonplace book is essentially my personal external hard drive with all my important files that I couldn't quite save internally. There just wasn't enough space inside my head. And trust me, I understand that there are many people who are better than me at remembering things. However, those people have limits. You have a limit. I have a limit. We all have a limit on how much we can truly retain and how much valuable information can really fit all up inside here. Writing this down in my Commonplace book has lifted off so much of this pressure, so much of the stress of wanting to remember these things because it's right there. I don't have to keep it up here. I don't have to memorize it on a daily basis. If I want to reference it, I can always go back and read it. For instance, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is a book I cherish. I really probably always will. If I had a superpower to implant this entire book into my brain, I would. But wait, not the whole thing, right?
you don't want to remember everything. I know there's some videos out there titled something along the lines of how I remember everything that I read. That would be a curse.
Oh, that's right. Remembering an entire book would truly be a miserable experience. While I deeply love Meditations, and it's an extremely important book in my life and to me personally, I don't need to remember every sentence. I don't think every sentence, every word is critical knowledge, at least for myself. And this really does apply to all books. There is no point in remembering every single thing we read. Having my Commonplace book helps me directly sift through all of the information I want to kind of leave out and the information I definitely do want to keep and definitely want to retain. Part 3, mental organization. I tend to have a lot on my mind. And with that being said, that comes with a lot of hobbies, a lot of activities, a lot of ideas, a lot of goals, and with that, a lot of conflicts, and just a lot, to say the least. I could go on. And it's safe to say, all of this cannot fit into one location. It can't all fit into here. I'll get overwhelmed. It can't all fit into one journal. Thus, I have my personal journal, which is really full of my ideas, my emotions, my more personal side of life. And then I have my Commonplace book. And my Commonplace book is specifically dedicated to my reading notes, my study notes, my notes of any kind. Think of journal as personal and Commonplace book as educational. Keep those two separate. You never want to combine them or else you will quickly spiral. I know I quickly spiraled. Maybe you'd handle it better than me, but I definitely think it lifts, once again, a lot of that pressure off of you. After almost an entire year of using my Commonplace book on a regular basis, I can confidently tell you, and with no exaggeration, say, this has become a staple of my lifestyle, alongside journaling. That is how efficient and really how life-changing this has become for me. Reading and learning in general has become genuinely fun. Most importantly, it's aided in my self-discovery, my self-growth. My mind has and will always continue to evolve, and so will yours. If it wasn't for my Commonplace book and really keeping up with this regularly, my progress and really growth entirely would have slowed down and maybe even decreased significantly. If it's valuable, folks, don't screenshot it. write it down.